Unity creates beautiful things. The imposing Cathedral of San Sebastian, or most commonly known as the Bacolod Cathedral, with its old grandeur, is a clear hint that this city is the seat of power of Negros Occidental Province. However, the Recollect who builds this cathedral believed that the beauty of San Sebastian Cathedral is not a showcase. It is all for God. According to them, this cathedral symbolizes unity and selfless generosity of the people of Bacolod. The hacienderos donated properties to the church. The local folks volunteered to lift stones and bricks. The artisans, Filipinos and Chinese, offered the best from their talents. People gathered working for one goal, such is the magnificence of this cathedral.
A small village inhabited by Malayans called Magsungay was placed under the protection of Saint Sebastian by early Christian missionaries during 1700s. Due to widespread of Moro pirate attacks, the people of Magsungay moved to a new settlement upon the hilly terrain called Bacolod. Bacolod means stone hill. The precursor of the modern day is now called Bacolod City. Construction of the structure in its present form began in April 27, 1876 under the leadership of Father Mauricio Ferrero, OAR. Prison labor was provided by the politico-military governor, Roman Pastor, who prevailed upon to Father Ferrero to also design and supervise the construction of the stone prison, the old provincial jail. In 1806, Father Pedro was appointed as its first parish priest. Years later, Father Gonzaga, a young priest from Barcelona, would envision the construction of the San Sebastian Church. The cathedral was built as a small chapel in 1876. Upon the initiative of Bishop Mariano Cuartero, it became a cathedral in 1933. At 137 years, San Sebastian Cathedral is one of the oldest churches in Negros Occidental. The original church was constructed in 1825 by Father Julian Gonzaga, parish priest from 1818 to 1836. The old church was made of wood and galvanized roofing. By the end of the century, the church was reconstructed into a bigger structure made of coral stones from Guimaras and hardwoods from Palawan. The finished structure was inaugurated in 1882 and was later officially declared as a cathedral, the seat of bishop in 1933. The cathedral itself was built using coral stones from neighboring island of Guimaras and hardwoods from Palawan. These materials have withstood the test of time, as the building has survived even until now.
The coral stone church, now covered with a thin layer of cement, is classical in temper. The slender bell towers flanking the facade give an Eastern European look to the church. The bell towers are decorated with arches and columns, intact with a wrought iron cross. In the center of the pediment is a niche house of the city's patron, the early Christian martyr, Saint Sebastian. Beneath him is a round window containing a statue of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, flanked by the Blessed Virgin Mary and Saint Joseph, each in their own niches. The entrance to the church is through a portico composed of 3 arches of equal dimensions. Flanking the main door is a statue of the church builder, Friar Mauricio Ferrero. The cathedral had one medium-sized bell, until Friar Roman Manuel Locsin donated a huge bell, and later, Friar Mariano de Avila donated another one when he became a parish priest in 1863 after the death of Friar Locsin. Friar de Avila's bell was installed in the tower when cathedral was constructed in 1876, but lowered in 1969 when the towers were reconstructed. it was never returned there. In 1976, the Sugarlandia Lions Club of Bacolod constructed a special belfry where it hangs today, with a small bell purchased by Friar Ferrero. The church interior is simple and chaste. Its pleasing appearance comes about because of the pleasing modulation of the arches and pillars rather than ornamentation. Geometrical moldings enhance the illusion of depth, and iron and crystal chandeliers illuminate the central aisle of the cathedral. The altar has gray and white marble, and it is sheltered by a ceremonial canopy or baldacchino. It is supported by marble columns, flanked by two rose windows, and decorated with an image of the Holy Spirit in the form of descending dove. Above the altar is another statue of Saint Sebastian.
Long before the cremation of the corpses became essential in the province and in the city, former bishops and some prominent inhabitants in Bacolod City and Negros Occidental were already cremated. This crypt has served as the home of their ashes. Saint Sebastian is a patron saint of archers and athletes and of those who desire a saintly death. He was also venerated as the protector from the bubonic plague and as the patron of plague victims. Saint Sebastian died c. 288 in Rome, Italy on January 20. Early Christian saint was popularized by Renaissance painters and believed to have martyred during the persecution.
He is a spiritual father and builder. He came to Bacolod in 1871 to sow the seeds of Catholic faith, build communities and infrastructures, and advance the cause of church for the spiritual, economic, social, and political well-being of the people of God in Bacolod and Negros. As written in the book of Professor Romanillos, Father Mauricio Ferrero was born on September 22, 1844 in La Rioja, Spain. So Father Ferrero is also known as the builder of Bacolod. He built the layout plan of the city, and he also renovated the San Sebastian Cathedral and funded the old provincial jail. Father Julian Gonzaga, a young priest from Barcelona, would envision the construction of San Sebastian Church. He was appointed as a parish priest. He encouraged migration to Bacolod and the opening of lands to agriculture and industry. He built a church of wood, nipa, and metal roofing at the site west of the present church. Beginning in 1825, Gonzaga started gathering coral stones from Guimaras to build a stone church, spending most of his annual stipend of 900 pesos to pay for the stones.
Bali hindi nga church, bali nag-volunteer na sa mga preso pala.
Voluntary.
Mga voluntarily. Tapos, muna yun ginapakaon na sila. Tapos, sa baylo sa nila nga kabugbuli. Tapos, ini nga simbahan ng, hindi bang sa loob, no? Kung yung mga gold na siya sa drink.
Kada lines.
Oo, kada lines. May gold na siya. Sana dito. Dalayo, pero kung lig na lang. Kung sa ka-idea kung ano na siyang naridi. Pero gold yun eh. Kag-ini nga church ng din ako kasi imbalin sa gamay ko. Ang ini nga church, mo na siyang may ginalubong ng mga pare, sa may altar, ang crypt. Dito sa may pag sa altar, gidya, mismo.
Ano no, idea ka nung pila kabilo preso ang naghimo or dabutan?
Mga sakol pagbanta, pero wala ko sa exact kung pila kabilog. Mga more or less siguro mga 200.
200 plus or 200
Prisoners, 200 plus.
How about yun nga ba nila ang mga walls ko nung may mix ng eggshells ko?
Hindi nang ano siya ng mga ng coral reefs.
Coral.
Oo. Mga corals.
Ang texture yan. Di mo nang may ano sila no? May mga anniversary natin sila yun.
Oo, sa Sebastian, pero tapos na.
Ano yun? Kung anong adlaw or date?
Sorry, nalipatin ko.
Pero mga month yan ang...
Mga lumabot ko
January 20. Ito yun nung may mga patrons na di sila yan no?
Saint Sebastian.
Saint Sebastian. Pero way labot siya, may iban pagid sila mga gina.
Kaya rin si Secretary of Jesus, sabi ko sa may pagtubang ito sa right side ko siya. Kung sa din naman si Mary Immaculate.
Isang last man nakita ko doon, yaman to ni Pedro Kalungsod.
Oo, pero ano lang.
Pero ano,
Ang yan ang frame.
pero hindi siya patron diya. Okay. Ano po ito question na ba?
Question ko na kung question.
Sorry, gid na nga sinapat. Kami nang
Shells.
Oo.
Siyempre nadala lang ko sa pag-mix nila eh. Siyempre ang mga priso siguro may mga sudanos lang itlog. Tiga-kadala ba sila pag-mix pilati. Ano sa ako ng ideya?
Tinong may idea ka nung kay San Sebastian, yung naging pangalan ng amo ng simbahan.
Kay siyang pare nga martyr.
Doon siya ang kasimbolize. Tinong may idea kay nang kung kaagi na ni Guba or nakaagi ko lang.
Gin-rebuild niya siya. Gin-rebuild.
Gin-rebuild this gin-rebuild na pero why man siya nag-collapse. Sige, pero doon reconstruct lang.
Hindi na siya gin-renovate.
Bali, ang iyang mga walls, naging kapalan ng mga simento na para sa modern day.
Iban ng ano siya ng stop. Anong amugin siya daan pero iban gin-restore na lang.
When it comes to history, the Philippines is rich of them. From before the Spanish colonized the country to the nation's independence, there are plenty of interesting and fascinating stories to tell. It explains how certain things have come to where they currently are. San Sebastian Cathedral story in Bacolod is no exception. This cathedral has been built centuries ago and has seen many of the Philippines' conflicts. In the heart of Bacolod City, The capital of Negros Occidental is a center of spiritual direction for this province, known for its vast amounts of land dedicated to sugar. Strategically located by the sea and centrally positioned where the city is divided into north and south, the San Sebastian Cathedral stands proud with its ornate towers overlooking the plaza of Bacolod City. Being the cathedral in the province's capital, it is only fitting that this structure bears one of the most imposing facades among Negros churches. With a highly coordinated symmetry, the San Sebastian Cathedral could well denote the perfect balance of the mundane and the spiritual. More changes came about through the years. However, the pivotal moment in this church was when it was declared as a cathedral when Bacolod became a diocese in 1933. The significance of the San Sebastian Cathedral has become greater as the years gone by, with one of its greatest moments in 1981 when Pope John Paul II came through its doors. Yet, through all the highlights in its history, one thing remains. The San Sebastian Cathedral, being ideally situated by the sea and with its tower hovering above the plaza of Bacolod, continues to serve as an important beacon, a lighthouse of sorts, to the spiritual lives of the citizens of modern-day Bacolod and elsewhere in the province of Negros Occidental.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could've happened or what could've been. Finally your face, I know ain't that a sight to see. Take my time, then take your clothes off one more time maybe. Acting like you don't recall it, ain't impressing me. Didn't come to see your friends, I know you came from me. Like your dress, but you fit better in my wrinkled tee. We moved on to newer things, but we got history. Put my feelings all aside, don't know what to make it right. Pictures popping on my mind, all these occasions, let's work it out with me. I don't think it hurts.